Hello, everyone. Sorry, I thought there was another video, but so hello, everyone, and welcome or welcome back to the Middle East Hyojong Forum that is sponsored by the International Association of Youth and Students for Peace, IAYSP, in the Middle East and North Africa. Today's session will be the 6th session of the forum and will be a special one. My name is Daniela Andreozzi, and I am one of the coordinators of the Middle East Hyojong Forum. I will be your moderator for today. For those who are joining us for the first time, I would like to explain briefly about the forum itself. The Middle East Hyojong Forum is featuring youth from different nations in the MENA region who are striving to make a positive impact in their communities and their nations. Today, we would like to invite 3 youth that are not from this region, but are from outside the Middle East, who are investing in their fields of work and could succeed in their activities. So the speakers of today are joining from Cameroon, USA, and Moldova. I would like to remind the participants that for today's session, as all the other sessions, there is translation available in 2 languages, Arabic and Japanese. So please click on the globe icon at the bottom right of the screen and select your preferred language. And if you have any questions or reflection, please send them directly to the chat moderator in the chat box. We will have a Q&A session at the end. So let's dive into the program of today. So we're going to USA first. The first speaker of today is Dr. Keita Sekine. Born and raised in Tokyo, Dr. Sekine is an Oriental medical doctor in the United States, working in Las Vegas, the state of Nevada. He is working for True Family Clinic as an Oriental medical doctor and Wongo University as a medical outreach coordinator. Keita studied human science and medical anthropology at Waseda University and graduated from university in 2011. He started studying Oriental medicine, such as Oriental philosophy, acupuncture, and traditional Chinese herbal medicine at Wongo University in 2013 and graduated in 2019. In addition, he has been the subdirector of ICLC, that is Young Christianity Leadership Conference, since 2022. So let's welcome Dr. Sekine.
Hello, nice to meet you, everybody. Thank you for inviting me to speak my vision and future activity in Africa today. My name is Keita Sekine. I'm from Japan and then raised in Tokyo. And then just let me introduce briefly. My wife is from, I have a wife, and then she's from Ukraine, and I have 2 kids. One is 3-year-old son, and then the other is 1-year-old daughter. So before now, currently I am an Oriental medical doctor and working for clinic and the university. And but today I would like to share my future activity in Africa. And this project has not started yet, but I'm going to start with African brother from Zambia from this year. So I wanna briefly share this about it. Before sharing the Africa project, I would like to share about my kind of philosophy of my life. So to establish peace of world, the philosophy is to clear the boundary, to clear the boundary. So there is many boundaries in the world. In the other level of individual, I have a boundary between body and mind. And then in the family level, I have boundary between husband and wife, parents and children, and brothers and sisters. And then in the world level or society level, there's a boundary, many boundaries between people and people, different races, religion, and nation. Because of boundaries, I believe we cannot establish peaceful world yet. Yeah. So, first of all, I feel boundary between me and God because when I pray for God, it's hard for me to cry for God. My tears does not run from my eyes. When I think of true Father, he always cry when he pray for God. Yeah, I think true Father is really true Father had a true Father knows not hope, feel the God's heart all the time, and then there is no boundary between God and them, true Father and true Mother. That's why whenever I think true Father or true Father prays for God, always they feel that God's heart, God's pain, their heart, His heart, and then they can kind of attach their heart and then fly. So, and I feel even I received a blessing 2018, and I connected to God's lineage, but my heart is not connected to God completely. So my challenge is to eliminate boundary between me and God. Yeah, that's this is personal thing. And then, if I know God's heart, I can love people more. I can, initiate like any project or some activity from my heart with true love. Because maybe I cannot be a true son of God yet. The level of heart, level of love is not enough. That's why I cannot build a peace in my mind in individual level. Yeah. Also, I feel a boundary between me and my wife. Of course, she's from Ukraine and I'm from Japan. We have very different culture. Yeah. So when I started family, this was a difficult time at the beginning, 4 years ago. Yeah. But by living for sake of my wife, by investing my love and energy into her, my wife, little by little, the boundary is eliminated. It's not completely eliminated, but I feel somehow the boundary eliminated, and then we getting have a better relationship. Yeah, yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, we had a like a counseling from a person teaching how to actualize, how to live according to true love. And then the counselor talked to my like very emotionally, and then listen, what's her pain in her heart. The one time the counselor told her, "Oh, do you think your husband know your heart completely?" And then she suddenly cried out. No, it was a shock to me. Oh my, I couldn't understand. I couldn't feel her heart, not yet. And then I make her feel alone. So there is, boundary between me and my wife yet. Yeah. Well, of course, there's many boundary right now. My wife from Korea, Ukraine. There's a war between Russia and Ukraine. There's a boundary. Uh, yeah. Now also North Korea and South Korea, there is a boundary divided by 83rd parallel. So and there's many boundaries. But so my key point for my life is how do we eliminate boundaries? And then this America African project is connected to this, my this key points. How do we can eliminate boundaries between, for example, I'm living America, so America and Africa, or other. It's not limited to America and Africa, but also the world, I believe. So that's why I chose. I was thinking when I get blessing, who I get blessed. When I came to the United States, it was for me to connect partly with other races, like white people, black people, Asian country, other than Japan. It was hard for me. So I want to eliminate the boundary between, people, person and me. So I was thinking, okay, if I get blessing, I want to have a wife from different country from mine, and also not Asian, because somehow I could have a good relationship with Asian people, but not white people or black people. So I was thinking, okay, when I get the blessing, I will choose future wife will be not from Asia, and then I applied it, and then got kind of send my wife from Ukraine. So so from now I'm talking about a project from for in the Africa. I plan to do. Now this project is called AA project. AA project is America Africa project. It the main purpose of this project is to exchange human resource between America and Africa. So we send people from Africa to Africa to experience American, for American to experience life in Africa, and then expand our heart, how they living, what we can do for Africa, and what we can do for unite the world. Also, people from Africa send America. They can maybe study something, and then after they get the knowledge and experience, they go back to Africa, and then they can serve the community. It's such a human resource exchange program. This project started from Chongqing in Las Vegas. So last year, 2022, April, suddenly two mothers visited Las Vegas, and then there was two parents public house in Las Vegas, and then two mothers visited there, and then gave a direction to the leader. There was a two parents bedroom in the public house, and the two mothers told the leader, make Chongqing Wong prayer room in this bedroom. And then Chongqing Wong was was built last year in the two parents bedroom in Las Vegas. And then the leader came to Chongqing Wong, Dr. Stephen King, and then Reverend Chan from Korea came and then started Chongqing Won kind of in Providence in the States. And then Reverend Chong, the vice president of Chongqing Las Vegas, was a leader in Africa before, and then he knew that he had many contacts people in Africa. So every time we had Chombo Great Workshop, there he called brother from Zambia. His name is Andy. Andy came, and then kind of this, then Andy and the Reverend Chan communicate with each other. And then I think this project has been started. And then, so in Zambia, the place Andy comes from, there is a clinic established by a Japanese missionary, Dr. Takigawa, 1919. So one of African American projects, one of the is to revive this project, clinic in Zambia. Because of lack of human resource or lack of leader, this clinic has not been functioning yet. So Andy try to revive this clinic, make this clinic function again. And then he said there's many people who really need medical support because of lack of medical service there. So when I talk with Andy, I think I can help with him. Actually, my dream is to do medical service in Africa before I try to enter the Oriental Medical School in Las Vegas. So kind of I feel, oh, God give this project for me, so I take it. And then then Andy kind of briefly explain about the situation over there. They need they need to remodel the clinic, and they need to kind of buy the medical equipment. And there is second gen doctor Zambia, but the medical staff there, couple members, but because of lack of medical resources, and he said it costs like more than $200,000 to start the clinic, Western clinic. So I thought it's not realistic. It really takes time to initiate the project. So I had a kind of idea. Okay, why don't we teach kind of Oriental medicine to the people local? So I was learning how to make our body healthy. But usually Oriental medicine, we use like needle, acupuncture, Chinese herbal medicine, or cupping or qigong, something like that. But so the method I was learning is, to maintain our health, to increase our quality of health by massaging like belly button. We call in Japanese, anpuku, like belly massage. So if we can teach, kind of belly massage to African people or like medical member without touching the medical equipment, we can somehow offer medical service or health service to local people. And then so we don't need to, we don't need to spend any cost. Maybe I can teach this method through Zoom, or I can go Zambia a couple of months and then teach, and make offer good, education for them to master this method. It might be not enough just a couple of months, but I can continuously teach this method to local people there. So this is one thing I can offer for them, and then they can be educated and they can get the skill and they can offer something for their community, and then hopefully we can get more financial support from other people, and then gradually purchasing the medical equipment, and then start this clinic. But also, Andy's wife is a medical doctor in Zambia. So Andy is from Congo, and the wife is from German. So kind of beautiful couple, white and black. So working with Andy's wife is meaningful to me because she's a Western medical doctor and I'm Oriental medical doctor. She's from German, I'm from Japan. So somehow, by cooperating together, we can eliminate the boundary between Western medicine and Oriental medicine, between race, German and Japan, and then we can create something, like something, make this world peaceful by uniting, with her and the local people in Africa. We can offer like better solution to create the Andes city peaceful and better. So I'm excited about it. Also, not only I want to kind of share knowledge or skill, not only for like belly massage and amplitude massage, but also happy health. And the happy health is a machine which True Father invented 2001. And then I was introduced this machine by one older second-gen brother. His name is Tomito Maekawa. He went to Africa, Benin, in West Africa, and then the story of his medical service in Benin is very long, but I want to just briefly share. He made a 40 days fasting condition, and after that condition, he got the liberation from God. Or go to Africa with with happy health, and then he brought a couple happy health machines in the Benin, and then his parents was a national messiah of Benin, so I felt he chose this country, and then after he got liberation from God, and then go to African country with happy health and treat HIV patients. And in fact, in the True Father world, he said HIV problem is to be automatically solved with happy health. So he believed this True Father world, and then tried to testify if this True Father world is right or not. And then he went to Africa like 2012, I believe, 2011 or 12, half year to 1 year. And then he treated 11 HIV patients in there at a local hospital, Catholic hospital. And then he took the data, how immune, CD4 immune, the number of immune cells change, how the symptoms change. He make a clear, data, and then all the result was great. All patients, HIV patients, immune system increased. CD4 number is increased like a double or triple. And also one of them was, got cured. So one of the patients got, HIV HIV positive to HIV negative. So with blood test. So he testified or to father's word, HIV problem will be solved automatically. He proved that. And then what is meaningful to cure HIV is not only for health, but also spiritual. And then this matters to God because people with HIV cannot get blessing. Naturally, the one who got cured with HIV was a second gen or first gen. And then he could not go blessing because of HIV. But after his HIV become negative, he could go blessing. This is so meaningful. Other than blessing, we cannot connect with God's heart, God's life, and God's lineage. And then, all humanity is a position where they lost parents. They don't know who is the parent. They don't know our parents' heart. This is very crucial. They don't know. We don't know. Today, I think all people, many people don't know God's love. That's why we are suffering in our heart. And then that's why we couldn't find the happiness. We couldn't find the peace in our heart. So receiving blessing with curing HIV is kind of God's hope, God's desire. And then HIV problem is a really deep pain in God. There is a boundary between God and all humankind because we could not receive blessing, and because and then the one or reason is HIV. So when I met Andy, like last year, December, and then talk about, and I heard about African American project, and then I felt, I must do this project with Happy Health, especially from Africa. I must solve the HIV problem, and then open the way of blessing for all humanity, especially two mothers. Want 1/3 of all humankind attend heavenly parents. I think it means the true mother's vision is 1/3 of humanity get blessing through true parents and connected heavenly parents with his lineage, with his love, with his life. This is what true mother wanna do. But there are 20 billion people with HIV in Africa. So unless we solve this problem, the way, the door to the blessing is closed. So this is really a crucial matter we need to solve. So from this year, this year I plan to visit Zambia and teach in the the belly massage. Also, I bring the Happy Waist machine. I plan to offer one machine to there, and then teach how to use Happy Health and teach, and then somehow share how to treat HIV patient with this machine. So by doing this, I think I can comfort God's heart. I can eliminate God's pain, deep sorrow in his heart, and then I can eliminate boundary between God and all humanity. Yes, yeah. So I wanna really put my heart and then my energy and invest everything myself to this project, and then I wanna love people with true love. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Sekine. And yes, I could personally learn many things and feel your heart. And thank you for touching our hearts as well as every parent's heart. And so actually in USA now it's around 2 or 3 a.m. So thank you so much for joining us today. And this was very informative. And so you're working really hard in bringing much hope and inspiration. And also is an inspiration for us to act more concretely and develop practical solutions. And you stressed the importance of overcoming boundaries, and I'm really sorry, some connection problem, but I think it's because even Zoom got inspired by you, and that's why this happened. And so actually, thank you once again, and also you expressed the meaning of your Zhong, yeah. In order to become people of love, the first step is to have this heart to honor and serve, attend our parents, and these also can bring oneness inside ourselves, in our families, and eventually bring world peace. So with your project, you are aiming at developing this culture, and so this is bringing much hope and inspiration. So it is, I think, very important now more than ever to focus on working on our health inside and outside, if we want to really bring the word of peace, né? So I hope you can soon receive a lot of human and financial support for this project. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much.
You will receive many questions in the end, so be prepared. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you.
And so next, we want to welcome actually a quite famous person in the European IAYSP community, Mrs. Cornelia Garanowski. Cornelia is 22 years old, and she's studying at a medical university, also she's a medical, to become a doctor. And at the same time, is working as a nurse. She has been the president of IAYSP Moldova since 2019. And then which also this organization IAYSP became a registered organization in 2020. She is also the vice president of the National Youth Council of Moldova since 2022, elected at the General Assembly. So welcome to the virtual floor, Cornelia.
Thank you very much, Tanya. Hi to everyone, and nice to meet you, all of you. And I'm happy to share with you my experience and my choice. So, first, can I say if you can see my? Can you see? Yeah.
Yes. Now, yes.
Yeah.
We can see.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Okay. So yeah, actually, I don't know if I can say some very successful or very great story, because it didn't restore the country, but I can say that actually with you do very nice things, very nice projects in Moldova, and in last maybe 3 or 4 years, we develop our activities in the organization YSP, and more young people know about the universal values and develop Fijian culture, and also personally, first, second generation and another people, non-member, we also through these social activities, they growing their heart, and I think it's a point. It's very important to practice this one. So I want to start the presentation with an inspiring quote from Chumavar. So this is the teenage years. It's the best time to dedicate yourself to cultivating goals that make your heart beat bigger. So yeah, because adolescence and youth is a wonderful period of life. When you feel like you can't do anything, when you have a lot of energy, and when you feel like you can move mountains. And during this period, what you need to have a clear goal in life and use this energy for the good of others. So it's little about me, but yeah, Jenna said about this, what I actually do, like my mixed verse of activities. Also, this is my family. We are in family 6 children. My father from nationality is Bulgarian. Mother is from Moldova. Yeah, this is my family. And now I want going to tell some experience related to people of Moldova and also some personal experience. So for me, I think it was since 2019, since I started getting involved in the YSP and Family Federation activities, when my heart started beating faster, because I set myself ultimate goals and to live for the good of others and the plan of my life to include all Earth. And here you can see some pictures from the first activities. It was intercultural activities, personal development activities. Also here was volunteer staff from America and from Korea, from different countries actually was. And the basic, and here also some activities, like first activities what we had. And actually participating in several youth activities. And help of volunteers from our country. Also, we step by step try new method and develop yourself and our organization. Here is one project, and participating like in this kind of project in various volunteering activities. Young people, they can become aware that they are useful and they can bring a benefit to the world. They can make other people happy. And the young people learn to receive each people as a member of his family. I think it's also good practice. And here you can see also some pictures with youth when almost last year the activity was with refugees from Ukraine because it's neighbor country. This was the International Children's Day, a different project of peace. This was Ukraine Fest. These roads and different project with personal development, youth forum also. This intercultural activity, it first images from this year, from February. We also had one intercultural activity with 7 different cultures, and it was also very interesting. American culture, Bulgarian, Gagaluzian, Korean culture we also had. Very interesting. Also, we have here in Moldova project like ecological, team building, and different social activities. So after these pictures with happy face, there are many emotions such as fears, worries, sleepless night, and many efforts. But probably those who organize events know this feeling, especially when, in addition to activity, you also have work or study, and it's actually through this we can to develop yourself. And also what I want to share about these activities, that a good practice of this all project is the idea given by Mr. Andrei Shana. After each activity, like for volunteers or also for participants, to share their thoughts, their heart about what they felt during these activities, what they mean for them personally. This one, like for example, for pictures was International Peace Day, and it was like a simple activity. We just like bring like some balloons and cards about peace, but after like each person say like some people who was in street, they say, oh, it's very nice what you do, because not so many people talk about peace, and it was actually very and the second pictures here also you can say like was one activity was with youth refugees from Ukraine. And in end of these activities, we like also share our heart, and like in this like this way, the youth can like take off the mask and to say like to open heart and to say what they feel. And I think it's also like not only external but internal to touch their heart with these activities. And yeah, actually, I call what we had the last year from February was the refugees crisis in Ukraine. And where YSP Moldova, together with Family Federation, with Federation, Universal Peace Federation, and also supported by other YSP organizations in Europe, managed to get involved and help even to this day also some activity what we do with youth and children's. But yeah, but all these troubles actually helped us to be closer to each other and to work as a group for a common good. And what I want to share is about Youth Club. It is our weekly meeting, what we do also and now. And what I like in this meeting that here we can practice like this is intercultural dialogue. Also, here is first gen, second gen, and also is non-members volunteers from YSP. And we here is different youth from like India, Ukraine, Russia, Moldova, Korea, Gagauzia, Bulgaria, Azerbaijan, Armenia. Like we are from different culture, and it's also very interesting. And also we speak in different languages, and like when we speak, when we get together, we feel like we are a global family, like a small universe, and it's also very interesting to have this kind of dialogue. Yeah, and YSP is our team, YSP now, because we actually in last time grow through these all projects. And also YSP Moldova, like we had activities in another countries such Albania, Slovenia. We was also in Vienna, and one also opportunity what we have wonder for YSP Moldova, it was to be a judgment in international competition in Korea, Synergy. And I think this was actually a great responsibility, and they trust from us to do this, to be like a judge. And yeah, here it's me, where I represent from Moldova, and also it's also great people who was also in this project, in this contest. Yeah, and also another part what I want to share, it's about National Council of Moldova. Yeah, about responsibility. In fact, the more responsibility you have, even if it's harder, the more you become a reliable person, and thus you can grow and influence other people. And I think because of this, I also wanted to run for National Youth Council of Moldova at the General Assembly to be like vice president, because in that way, more people can know about YSP and can know what actually peace starts with each of us. And this is the first like event when I participate like vice president of National Youth Council of Moldova. It was the National Youth Conference in August, and here I also was the speaker, and here you can see one woman also in orange. She is Prime Minister of Republic of Moldova, and it was like a big event. Another event where I also participate was in September, bilateral meeting of the Youth Council, National Youth Council of Moldova and Romanian. One team from Moldova was in Cluj-Napoca in Romanian. It was all town hall, and we had this meeting where we discuss about collaboration, about future European view, and yeah, it was also very exciting, this meeting. Another event where I also was like vice representing youth from Moldova was Youth Health Forum in Portoroș in Slovenia. It was this year in February, and also very inspiring event. And actually in this forum we didn't talk only about health, but also about leadership, about personal development, and we also did some networking, and it's also a very good experience. Yeah, and yeah, I want to close my presentation with I go to Trafalgar. So we were all created to be important men and women. Because God exists, we are able to achieve anything. So yeah, because this year also is considered the year of courage, I would also like to urge you, as it was also transmitted to us, if you have two parents and we have to make a choice, so then let's choose the bravest one. So yeah, this is what I want to share you. Good luck for you and everything, and let's do the best choice in our life. Thank you very much. If you have some question, I can answer. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Cornelia. Yes, we will have this Q&A, and you can answer, I think, many questions. So thank you very much once again. It was really a truly beautiful presentation. And yes, I was impressed by your last, True Father's last quote about, yeah, because God exists, we can do great things. And so I think, yes, it's so true. And you showed in the presentation, thank you so much. You show how much IAYSP actually is working to bring development and change in various ways in the local community. So, and also you said the more you have responsibility, the harder you can get, but at the same time, you can grow and you can influence people to do the same. So thank you for showing the power of young people in realizing peace and in spreading good. So thank you so much once again, and we'll see you again at the Q&A session. Thank you so much. Now, before introducing the last speaker, we will watch a video that she sent us. So please enjoy.
They were 25 to start this adventure. Only 10 went to the finals. Only one will be the winner in each category. Join the Youth Festival on the 26th of June 2022 to know who will be the winners of the National Arts Contest. See you soon.
brought the vision of YSP to us. And so teaching peace through the practice of real love with the aim of building the character of the children seems to be the focus. It was enticing enough, and I subscribe to that my school undergoes this course. There has been some, not just some improvement in the academic output of the children. There has also been an increase in academic consciousness of the children, because in the course of the lessons, emphasis has been on the responsibility of the children towards each other, towards a fellow human being, and towards the society. And so it has really helped to solve a lot of the disciplinary issues that we have on campus. Therefore influencing the lives of the children, because it's not like a top-bottom instruction approach. So we thank YSP for that.
Thank you. So now, with this video, it's time to invite our last speaker, Mrs. Victoria Gonzalez Chinbobe. Victoria is also 22 years old, from Cameroon. She's a third-year student in business studies. She believes education is the key to a brighter future and has invested herself since age 18 as a volunteer in character education. Victoria is the IAYSP president of Cameroon and was elected as a youth parliamentarian in Cameroon. So let's welcome Victoria to the virtual floor. The floor is yours, Victoria. I think there are some technical problems, but Victoria, are you there? Okay, let's wait a little bit. And yeah, just prepare ourselves to listen. Maybe Victoria, you can turn off your camera. Maybe that's why we cannot hear you. Maybe you can just try to turn off your camera. Maybe is the connection, I don't know. Let's see. Okay.
Hello, is it better now?
Yeah, now we can hear you a little bit.
Oh.
Yes, can you try?
Challenges we have.
Yes, we can hear, but we have echo because you have two devices. So one of the other device you need to mute, so we can hear you very well. We can hear your beautiful voice, but you have to mute one of the device. We can see you very well. Wow, perfect. Now we can see you also. That's good. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll speak from another device.
That's perfect. Now we can hear you and see you perfectly.
Okay. Okay. So, greetings once more, everyone. I'm so honored to be with you here today to share with you briefly about our experience in Cameroon. I'm sure you felt a bit of our vibes through the video that we just shared a while ago. You know, it's so exciting in working with youths. At the same time, managing those energies is not easy. Anyway, before I begin my sharing, I'd like to tell a short story, which actually, you know, to give it more a history of things, of how activities are ongoing in Cameroon. To give a better history, I will kind of rewind. So earlier, I was about to share a story about something that happened some 6-7 years ago when I was still in high school. You know, back then, the fight against HIV/AIDS was really so strong. You know, fight against HIV/AIDS, sexually transmissible diseases was a fad in high schools. Unfortunately, the way people were fighting against it here in Cameroon was by promoting the use of condoms. I remember that time I was I remember that time I was actually campaigning to be student head because I wanted to bring a change. But then I didn't win the elections. Ouch, that was painful. But I found a way to enter inside the student corps, and I really try my best to impose that no, we should fight against the use of condoms because they used to seem actually more pretty excited that they are going to come and show them how to fight against HIV/AIDS by the use of condoms, that they were going to bring some gadgets, and they were kind of excited by that. But with some debates, my team and I was able to get market, and we were able to fight, like impose the use of pure love, the use of fidelity, abstinence. Abstinence is what concerns high school students. That is where I started everything. That's where I started everything. And that's how, let me say, I began activities with Women's Fed. And you know, in this nation, the collaboration of women and youth have always been something, let me say, magical, as you've seen even through the video. We've been working in collaboration with them, and that's how, let me say, everything started. It started. So that took place in 2016. Finally, in 2019, we launched IYSP in Cameroon, one of the most prestigious schools with over 200 students and members of government. We launched IYSP in Cameroon. So as a rundown of, like, kind of return back in what you see in the video, but I don't know, I'd like to repost and permit me to share my screen, or they can share my screen for me. I have a problem with my connection. Can you please share the screen so I can share about the activities in Cameroon? Anyway, so while waiting, actually, you know, thank you. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to briefly explain the history of the activities in Cameroon. Next slide, please. So as I was mentioning earlier, it can be running after five seconds. You can change the slide. Thank you. So it was launched in at ENAM, is the Great School of Administration. Actually, I'm the second president in power for YSP Cameroon. It was launched actually under our former president, who is presently the national leader of Family Fed Cameroon. We launched it really with a few people. I can say I will take advantage and also mix a bit the challenges that we had from the beginning. So it was launched, next slide, in ENAM with a very few, let me say, many people came to join the event, but few were actually part of the staff. Next slide. But as you can see, we had so many young people so many small children actually that today are slowly taking up responsibilities at a very young age. They started small like that. But back then, those days really was kind of hard to make youths interested, frankly speaking. Next slide, please. So we began with some service projects that in order to attract the attention of youths, such as tree planting. We began this project actually last year. This is one of our youngest projects. You know, the northern part of the nation is suffering of, let me say, desertification, as we are living in semi-arid desert, a semi-arid place. In the northern region is a semi-arid place. So we started out with a tree planting, where we planted over 40 trees last year in July. Yeah, the youths were pretty excited, as you see. They're very young, as you see. They're very excited putting the trees inside there. And these trees, we were able to, let me say, it's not solely our funds, but when we go towards the government, you know, the government has similar visions sometimes as us. So they supported us with some 40 trees. And this year, we're actually working on a big project to fight against desertification and climate change in the northern part of Cameroon. Next slide, please. We also did pretty much of cleanup campaigns. As you see here, especially in the urban areas, people are kind of unconscious concerning waste disposal as compared to other nations, let me say, out of Africa, I can say. Here, really, pollution is quite a big problem. So we are trying our best also through this kind of activities to promote the love for nature, tree planting and cleanup activities. So we carried plenty of waste. We did like 2 or 3 cleanup activities. Next slide, please. Also, you know, youths like to hear money. Frankly speaking, many like to hear about that. So in the quest to also attract many people, we try to do also another activity. This is the visit in enterprises. Here, of course, we dropped so many applications in many companies, but it's a radio that was able to welcome us, Miro Radio, in which the youths were able to see how does a show take place. And on that occasion also, they kind of explained to them how to use the media properly. They kind of briefly, the staff of the radio kind of gave them also a briefing about the rules on the use of media in Cameroon. All this anyway is to also make them, if there were some that were interested in becoming journalists, this was a good way for them to get slowly initiated. Next slide, please. Also, you know, we do believe, we share this idea, right, that alone we go fast, but together we go far. So in that sense, we started signing MOUs with some schools. We signed MOUs with, say, 10, 12 schools actually, and with some partner associations as well to do the activities. In expanding, I'm going to come back to the character education part and I'll also speak about challenges. You know, the more the schools you cover, the more staff you need. It's in that sense that we try to also synergize with other people to also bring the training to the staff so that we can increase the manpower of those that will go to the fields to do the character education, to direct as well the other activities that we are doing. So as you see here on the left, right, that's the very first school actually that accepted to teach character education, and we've been teaching character education in that school for the past 3 years, weekly. And if you listened attentively to his testimony, he was really very touched by it because he said there's been a general change in attitude. You know, we used to say repetition, right, is the mother of learning, the father of action, which makes it easy for the architect to reach accomplishment. That's by Zig Ziglar. Just a small side thing, but that is in order to say giving character education just once in a school without putting like fueling constantly, we might not get the results easily. So we selected some pilot schools in Cameroon, among which was this school YWCA, to do a weekly character education training, and it was headed actually by the staff of YSP and missionaries. They went to those schools and they really shared the heart of true parents in those schools. They shared about pure love. And in this school particularly, when I had the chance to share with interview the principal, he said there has been a general change in the attitude of the students. He's seen that they are more conscious, right, about the academics, better performance in the results, and in general, looking at the late coming, the fights in schools, because every single day here, that's another challenge we have here. Violence is too much. Not a single day can pass that the fight takes place in a school, but miraculously, in this school, the rate of fights reduced. It reduced greatly. He testified about it. And he said, the effect of seeing another young person like you coming to inspire you, it really touched the heart of many of the students. And they are pretty excited to continue and learn it deeper. But you can see the effects of character education. Not just one training, not just twice, something continues. And this really necessitates much investment, both financially and also human resource. So you see, this is a long-dated kind of activity which bear fruits in let me say in the long run. Yeah. Can we move to the next slide, please? So as you see here, there has been character education campaigns by missionaries since 2-3 years, you see 4 years now actually. So even before character education was legalized, before YSP was legalized, we tried our best to do some sensitization in schools. Next slide, please. And the missionaries really, I can say, they contributed greatly to this. So in order to also increase the number of staff, manpower, we thought of integrating something, actually, a concept that I can say Cameroon copied from Shin Africa, the concept of peacemakers. In this, we invited university students to take up the challenge to be that change, bring that change that we want in Cameroon. So we encourage them to go for peacemaker contests, in which we encourage youths to go to schools and teach character education. But that, of course, they do serious training, at least 2-3 sessions of character education training, so that they can at least understand the concept and share vision with us. So some of these youths, young university students as well, took up the challenge. So far in Cameroon, we have like 10 or 12 very engaged ones, though so many registered, but sometimes keeping the fire up to the end is not easy. But when you keep pushing, it can work out. You see over 30 signed up, but around, let me say 12, to be honest, went as far as going to the schools, negotiating, investing their own personal resources even to make things move ahead. So these are, I'm actually pretty touched by these peacemakers. And towards the end, you will see we actually rewarded some, and we will surely reward others in the days to come. You know, when something is really nice, you see, when it's really nice, it touches the heart of people, and they will be able to move and bring that change. Next slide, please. So this is also training by the staff. Next slide. So here we trained also some teachers. Apart from training university students, we trained also teachers in schools, primary, secondary schools, to teach character education. They need to change a bit the language that they use when they're talking to students, because partly the downfall of the nation is shared not only with, it's not only youths, but also the adults section. Now, if in the classes they're able to inject 1, 2 ideas on purity, that can bring a change. Even if it's not just a formal session of character education teaching, in maybe teaching a math class, they can switch a bit and speak about. That's the idea that we had. Is you see in the other slide, kind of older people actually joined also character education training. And this was spearheaded by also the education director here, when they really tried to train these adults, really try to implant the idea of pure love when they are in the milieus. So that's simply it. Next slide. As when we work with some partner associations, Women's Fed, and also some partner associations outside to bring about women empowerment. Here, we work in collaboration with the Muslim students in school, in which we try to invite the girls, especially girls, to also have the idea of entrepreneurship. So in that sense, after boosting them, giving some good session of character education, we also did training on how to fabricate liquid soap. This is also to enlighten them, to open up their minds on entrepreneurship, not just to look for jobs, but themselves, they can create those jobs that they are looking for. So this was actually held in the university campus last year during the International Day of the Rights of Women. You see, as you can see. In that panel, we had some young entrepreneurs and young Muslim women that tried their best to take up some responsibilities. And we also had the support from Women's Fed that actually gave the training to fabricate soap, liquid soap. And we actually envision in doing many more workshops like this in coming years, actually. Next slide, please. So here's briefly also our long-dated partnership with Women's Fed, as I was mentioning earlier. In the 10 regions that Cameroon has, thanks to our partner, so Women's Fed, we were able to cover over 4 or 5 regions in Cameroon, thanks to them. When the mothers also take up the responsibility to teach the youths, it can be a change. I would not like to outline too much about it. We all know that mothers have a great responsibility in educating the youths. So when here the women took the time as well, leaving the job from time to time to teach, that's what's kind of boosted also the character education training in Cameroon. And thanks to that, over the years, we're able to cover almost 1 million youths if we have to assemble the numbers from the different schools. We covered so many schools, but we concentrated on some pilot schools. We covered almost 30 schools, but we have like 5 or 6 pilot schools in Cameroon where we do many trainings on a very regular basis. And that is in collaboration with Women's Fed as well. This is also to encourage you that wish to do character education, seek to have partners. It's very important, because if we are alone, we get tired fast. That's something that, let me say, I understood also quite late. But I'm grateful that at least we have very supportive people that they are not there uniquely to support, let me say, me as a person, but it's the vision of what we love through mother. So when we touch people's hearts, we can be able to bring about the change with you. It's good to work as a team. So this is a perfect example of a teamwork that we had with Women's Fed. Next slide, please. So we also did the promotion of Peace Road. Next slide. Okay, and even hand painting, all this to make it kind of fun, as you see. Next slide. I also did some fun contests, as you saw, arts contests in which we are looking for young talents, both in singing, in dancing, and even in drawing, and even in photography, actually. All that, if you had to put it, it's going to make it quite voluminous. But we did some interesting kind of contests like this, especially during the summer holidays. We do this kind of contests in order to attract the youth and to also give them the chance to express their talent. You know, many of them have these hidden talents, and they're shy. And sometimes they also don't know how to canalize it. But with the back to the character education training, when these youths now go on the field, they make wonderful songs. I'll actually invite you to discover some of those songs. I'll be sharing some of the links very soon. You will see these wonderful talents they have. Many people tend to say actually that when you don't sing about this kind of sexual love, you don't become popular. I don't think so. If you listen to those songs, I think they can actually have Grammys. Not to exaggerate. They are really great talents that we are trying to buy. And yeah, through this kind of arts contest, we are promoting them actually. We're promoting them. That's a good way of promoting them. Next slide. Also in the fight against let me say violent words, and also to promote the proper use of language, because I know youth remark nowadays is quite difficult, especially in some rural areas, to see youths that use language properly. All that, with that concept, we decided also to launch the spelling bee contest. That's last year. We decided to promote healthy verbal use of language, precisely French and English, in some schools in the northern region, as you see here. This was the first edition, and we intend to continue this year. So there's a spelling bee contest, which I propose. You can also try it out. It's very interesting. It's a way of catching even the attention of authorities and making authorities actually interested to bring in cultural education eventually in the schools. This is another strategy that we try to use. Next slide. So organize various youth forums in schools, youth forums that we organize sometimes based on international days, sometimes right after a fresh scandal, I can say, because this nation, I can tell you, has stabbings of teachers and students and poisoning and all that is kind of so regular. In the fight against it, trying to share the vision of peace and love and forgiveness, we organize some youth forums. I think I cannot give an exact number because there are so many of them. Sometimes when we say this is going to be character education training, in the end, when it becomes something big, until we invite parliamentarians and members of the government, it becomes a youth forum. It becomes a youth forum. So as you see here, we did some special talks in some schools and some places, all that to fight against violence, to also fight against teenage pregnancies. Those were the main topics in the youth forums that we did in the nation here. Next slide, please. Briefly also, I will speak about the relationship with the authorities. Next slide. You know, as you see, I'm a junior parliamentarian. I was elected as a junior parliamentarian here. And thanks to that, we're able to open doors faster to relate with the authorities. As you see here, we relate with the authorities, the different representatives of the government, mayors, parliamentarians, and representatives from the Ministry of Youth and Civic Affairs. You see there. And we're also trying to relate with others in the CEMAC zone, the others pictured down. Actually, that's a few representatives of junior parliamentarians from Cameroon and other nations as well. Some are from Chad, from Congo Brazzaville. Yeah, they joined the once or twice for some youth forum like that. we met and I kind of shared also about the vision of YSP. And just as a small secret, actually, some of those peacemakers are also junior parliamentarians that took the challenge to go to schools. They make them interested, they'll go for it. Next slide. Yeah, so here's with the mayors. After the support also, it's good to reward them with one of the most precious gifts we could have. That is the autobiography. So we shared the autobiography with the two mayors here. And next slide, also with the representative from the Ministry of Youth. Actually, he is the divisional delegate of the Ministry of Youth and Civic Affairs. And he's a very, very, very supportive. Him plus the mayors, they cannot be like the main sponsors. They will find a way at least to contribute greatly if it's by giving a hall or media coverage. They try their best to always help. So you see, they really love the idea and the vision of promoting pure love. Next slide, please. So we also nominated some ambassadors for peace. Next slide. These are outstanding youths, some among which they are missionaries, some are journalists. Next slide. Some are presidents of associations. They tried their best also to support, even if it's not in a joint adventure with us. We also see that there are many associations outside that are there to help, that are there to fight against violence and all the other vices that we have. So next slide, please. So here we rewarded one of the junior parliamentarians that have been really working so hard, the Peacemaker Award, and we want to do many more actually, because so many, he plus others are also trying their best, are trying their best to promote character education in schools and even in the neighborhoods. Next slide, please. Also, we participate in the regional activities of Africa, such as the Youth Assembly, African Youth Assembly. Actually, we were very honored to be part of the organizing committee in IRA 2022, especially for the Young Sounds for Peace. There was a great number of the staff came from Cameroon, as we used a bit the model of the National Arts Contest to also put inside this regional competition, which so really was kind of a ferocious kind of competition, but it was fairly nice. Went well. I'm sure you've seen the feedbacks in the social media. It was really great. But we also tried to gather youths in schools to join the training, also in our centers to join the training online. Also the trainings from Africa are very important and very inspiring as well. So when we gathered a few in the different centers and the schools, we resulted to activity. So those are ways in which we participated in the regional activities. I guess this is the last slide. So that's it briefly, what we've been doing in Cameroon. So as a great challenge that remains still today, and which will be surely the challenge that many other YSP branches are facing across the nation and the world, is sometimes the sponsorship part. But if you are able to catch and plan things out very well and good timing, you'll be able to have enough. That's based on the experience we've had so far. And I repeat, it's important to have partners. Alone, we can't go far. Yeah, we can go far, but given the vision that we have and the goals we have to reach, we need to synergize. We need to meet up with people to amplify the activity. So those were a If that's just briefly the sharing I prepared. And I want to also lastly say you don't need to wait to have a title to bring that change. This is a message probably to the youths that are connected here. It's not mainly because I became a junior parliamentarian that things amplified. Let me say the elections, you already had activities at the back and they can see that you can bring that change. That's why they will not hesitate voting for you. So be that change. You can be that change even as into quotes with no big titles and nobody. And we don't look far, like look at this person or that person to initiate. You need to initiate. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity I had to share. And I really don't have too much to say. And I invite you to visit our page to see many more, because it was difficult to compress everything inside the in a presentation and video, but you can see a bit about activities, and we are open to many more partnerships or not. Yeah. So thank you so much really for your kind attention. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Victoria, thank you so much. It was, yeah, I think very, wow, very inspiring. And I really want to come to Cameroon. I really feel like I want to come to visit and yeah, work with you. And you started off by explaining the motivation that led you to your work, and that of teaching pure love to young people. And so this is our core, the most important thing also for developing youth to be a true youth. So so thank you so much. And I think young people in schools, actually, they long for that. And when we give them this chance, they can make a big change. Also, you talk about partnership with Women Federation and educating teachers, and yeah, so many things. And so we are very grateful for having you here. So I think we also, for you, there would be many questions. So it was very good today. We had an overview starting from USA and talking about a project in Africa, more like practical. And then we went to Moldova and we had an overview of YSP. And we concluded again in Cameroon, in Africa, with a more like internal view of of youth and youth development and education. So wow, it's very amazing, all the things we could learn today. So welcome back, all of you, for the Q&A session. So yes, let's start a question. Let's say let's go to Keita-san. A question for you. You mentioned that in your project you are looking into sending people from Africa to USA as well. What kind of experience do you hope they have in the USA, these African people? Yeah, what kind of experience do you hope they have in USA?
Actually, one sister from Zambia, no, I'm not sure Zambia, from Africa, already came United States. And then she is now community college, and then she's going to study medical school. So, she wanna become medical doctor, and after she got license, and she wanna come back to her country. So in United States, if people from Africa come here, we expect them to learn something, knowledge or skill, and then not only knowledge and skill, but also like how they can serve the community in there, and then kind of cultivate of the heart of serving. Especially when I came to United States, I kind of the culture of United States is kind of they're easily to share their like material thing or ideas, and then exchange their ideas. So kind of free heart to share something. So I want them to kind of inherit an American spirit, and then they can go back to their country, and then they can serve their community. They can share what they learn in the United States. So that's my or our expectation of them.
Thank you. Very, very clear expectation and important one also. And so now we go to Cornelia. So some questions for you. What is your advice for youth who are trying to join the National Youth Councils? And do you think the YSP can contribute to the National Youth Council of Moldova? So it's two questions in one, sorry. So the first is like, what is your advice for youth who are trying to join the National Youth Councils?
So my advice for you, I think it's not to be afraid of new things, not to be afraid to something new to try. And if about National Youth Council, how I say, like maybe for someone thinks like it is a big responsibility, it is hard, but actually after maybe you can say like more advantage, more opportunities what for National Council you can receive, like not only for your personal but also for organization, and also experience, and also you can say like how this org actually to have one view like bigger, and in this way you can like develop also organization like YSP also to develop. And one more question was,
like how do you think YSP can contribute to the National Youth Council of Moldova?
Yeah, actually National YSP Moldova is one of member organizations of National Youth Council of Moldova, because this council it's like umbrella of more youth organizations. And how we can, it's also through these activities. And also actually in last year we had a lot of project what we did together with National Youth Council. It was actually also the General Assembly of National Youth Council of Moldova last year was at Peace Embassy, and it can be different ways. Like we also did a project with refugees from Ukraine and with youth. It's depending, like, but if I can say about Moldova is this to try different methods. Like it's not important how like it's not only one some special. It's can be different way.
Yeah, thank you. It's so beautiful that there are many youth organizations in Moldova, and then YSP can guide them. Yeah, and it's very beautiful. So next question is for Victoria. Okay, this is a very interesting one. How were you able to sign MOUs with schools? Was there like a turning point that you felt helped you make this achievement? Sorry, I said wrongly pronunciation. MOU, I mean.
Okay, I don't know if I got the question that well. Like, how did we, like, was there a turning point to the signing
Yeah.
of MOUs?
Yeah, so how were you able to sign MOUs, and there was a turning point that helped you, like YSP, to achieve that?
Okay, thank you. That's actually a very nice question. Very, very nice question. Yes, for the signing of MOUs, actually, the turning point I can see was when we got in contact with the government. Like when you get pretty known and the echoes are going up, it spreads like wildfire. But it all starts when we like motivate 1-2 youths, even high school students, some, let me say, church members, when I encourage them, like that's what also contributed to the amplification, if I'm answering it well. You encourage these youths to dare, like to go to the school authorities and tell them about karate education. I have some 15, 16-year-olds here that actually did that. They went to the school principals and said, sir, I think I have a project that can make you interested. They're like, what's the project about? They explain a bit, and when they get stuck, they call me or some elder to come and explain it better. But it starts like that, you motivate 1-2 people goes, bouche à oreille, as they say in French, from ear to ear. Yes, and they do the advertisement for you, just like in business, right? When you have a good product, everybody will speak about it, and it will go higher and higher. So yes, anyway, the turning point was more when we had the connection with the government. Yeah, that's what I can say. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Wow, like 15 years old, going to their school principal. That's really something we can learn from them, to have courage, like Cornelia was saying before. So let's go to Keita-san once again. This is also a question I think very important for our health. Like, can you explain more about the Happy Health machine, and how exactly does it work, for those who don't know about that?
Okay. So Happy Health machine is a medical device invented by two father 2001. So this is it's hard to tell everything for short time, but this machine uses a positive and negative electricity, and then this both electricity kind of generated by machine, and then there is a probes and attach the skin, and then the electricity comes from the machine and then come into the like a body. So, if I explain the effectiveness of that thing from Western medicine perspective, I can say all kinds of diseases come from inflammation. So if we have inflammation of body or cell starts losing their function. So why then inflammation occurs? And then the researcher of Happy Health kind of find out inflammation occurs because of imbalance between positive and negative ions or electricity inside the body. So this imbalance causes inflammation. So by giving positive and negative electricity through Happy Health, we can neutralize inflammation, reduce the inflammation. Then body gets starting function well, and then many kinds of functions such as immune system, digestive system, cardiovascular system improve, and then our body gets naturally healed. This is one point. And then the other point, especially when I focus virus HIV. So virus is composed of two parts, the RNA or DNA, and then this RNA and DNA covered by like a shell of protein. So the protein is charged either positive or negatively electricity. So per se, if I say one virus of the shell is positively charged, if we give the negative electricity or ion to the shell, this virus will be deactivated. So in this way, both ways we can kind of heal the body. One way is to increase our function body. The other way is kind of deactivate the virus. And this way we can treat HIV. Sorry, kind of very medical terminology.
I think you explain well. Well, I think you explained very well this medical term, very easy to understand. So thank you so much. I didn't know about how Happy Health also can kill the virus, and so I was wow, very interesting. Thank you so much for this explanation. So Cornelia, one more question for you. Were there some challenges that you faced during your work with IOA-YSP in Moldova, and how did you overcome them?
Sorry, some what?
Sorry, challenges. Some challenges
okay.
that you faced, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, challenges. Oh, yeah, we had actually different challenges. I think for first was beginning to start because we didn't have some team, and all who organized all activities was only 2-3 people, and it was very hard. Yeah, but in time already we get one. Our team was bigger. Another challenges is, maybe was during the pandemic, because we also had activities already planned, and but after we started to do more online activities, I think more of you, yeah. And another challenges, I don't know, don't remember now some another challenges, because actually now we remember only the good things. What was the not very good, we usually forget about this.
Wow, thank you. This is a very positive approach to overcome the challenges, and so thank you. I think many can have many things to say about that, but it's good to focus on future development. And so I want to go now to Victoria, and this is the last question for you. And how do you structure character education programs and divine principle education? Do you have a certain curriculum for youth, from character education to blessing education? I think Victoria disappeared.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't see you pinned, so, but I will continue then. So do you have a curriculum for youth, from character education to blessing education. Is this something that you could practice in Cameroon? I don't know if the question is clear enough.
It's true that I'm facing so much connection issues. Huh? I didn't get your that well. I didn't get.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yes, okay. So how do you structure character education programs and divine principle education? Do you have maybe a certain curriculum for youth from character education to till blessing education? Yeah, is this something that you can practice in Cameroon?
Okay, okay. I got the question now. Right, I'll just share a bit the model that we use here. If trying, let me say, still testing. What we do is this: we teach character education in the schools. Then we have a few that actually are very interested to go deeper in it. Now, this few, we direct them to the centers. From the schools, the different clubs sometimes that we create, to the centers. Now in the centers, we hand them to family fed. Because also if we are like if we present ourselves as an NGO that welcomes everyone, and then in the end we are coming to be looking like a church, you know, it can also bring some problems. That's why we direct them to family fed. Family fed now takes care of them, teaches divine principle workshop, like one day. Then when they are interested to go further, we go in for 2 days, and then 7 days, and it continues. We have some youths actually that followed that course, and so we're slowly preparing them for the blessing. No, it's not also easy to push people to the blessing. Sometimes even internal youths, blessed children, are struggling, but many like the truth. So we have some that, yeah, we took from the schools, brought to the centers, learn divine principle. That's the course I think I propose to them. Work in collaboration with family fed. Let them be the ones to teach. Even if it's still you, the member of YSP, that will go teach them. But you see that this is family fed now that's welcoming you to teach the YSP. That's coming out to teach you the divine principle. So that's how we work.
Wow, thank you so much. I saw this is, I think it will develop further, and yeah. So thank you so much for your answer. And so today, the last question of today is for Mr. Kenta. So what are some of the things that you need to make, this project a reality?
Yeah. So, first of all, I must go Zambia. Physically, I need to go there. Yeah. So, and then, of course, even though there's a clinic in Zambia, yeah, we need financial support to renovate the clinic and the room, or we need to buy medical device if we start medical service of Western medicine. So financially, and then also even we take care of HIV patients. I think it's important to educate the local people about purity, or kind of how to prevent HIV, and then also how to make good relationship with in future wife or husband-wife. So so it's very important to collaborate with organizations such as WFWP or YSP, and then we can we want to many people to participate, and then kind of grow also financially and human resource wise, I hope we can connect it to a variety of professionals or young people, or yeah, that's my answer.
Thank you so much for your clear answer. So I think today we could see many different realities, and how also I hope you could get inspiration from one another to further your projects and everything. So thank you so much for being here today, and I really hope, I wish all your endeavors to have success, and I hope we can meet in person. So thank you. So before parting, I want to make some announcements. So for those who are joining us today and didn't register before, please register in the link being shared in the chat soon. And we are happy to receive your feedback and your suggestions to improve the forum. So please don't hesitate to fill the feedback form that should be shared, but if it's not shared, we will share soon before ending. So finally, I would like to remind you that our next session will be on the 8th of April. So we will inform you about it through mail. So thank you once again for joining us today. We finish exactly in 2 hours, and I wish you all a great weekend, and see you after 1 month. Bye.